And in this corner, nerds!
And I'm going to talk about me, myself, and my problems here for a little while.
The Rule 34 questions were last week.
That's not a puzzle, it's pushing blocks.
I will accept confidently sounded episode numbers and issue numbers as actual evidence.
But I want to hear about your other shitty characters.
Of course, invest in a robotic Flavor Flav.
This is the Debate This podcast. Welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this podcast, we take time out of our busy adult lives to argue over the important things, like comics, video games, and who the best fictional deity is. Praise Arceus. My name's Kyle Harper, and I'll be your moderator for the week. Today we're talking about Team Chaotix, and who they are, and what they do, and why anyone cares about them, because I don't. To help educate me are Andrew Halfrack Henderson, Matt Ribeye Cole, and Todd Hotdog Thomas. And they're going to tell me about the Chaotix and what they're about.
All right,
Guys.
yeah, I'll start. So we're going to talk again about the Sonic universe, because we here at Debate This sure as hell haven't got enough of the Sonic extended universe. And
Well, we shut down the Mario wiki, so we had to switch to the Sonic wiki.
And when you talk about the Sonic extended universe, I think the number one most priority topic is the Chaotix team, and first introduced in was it 32X? I think the Sega 32X.
Yeah,
a game
32X.
called Knuckles Chaotix, which like maybe 10 people played. Did any of you guys play it?
I mean,
No.
Oh, God, no. Although
No.
I do really appreciate the proper use of the apostrophe after the S. I feel really good about that in the branding.
So I'm going to
Fair.
start. I'm going to talk about Espio the Chameleon. Espio was actually the first of the Chaotix to be introduced in that particular game. The story is he joins up with Knuckles to investigate the mysterious Circus Island, and then brings his other shitty friends to basically fill up the quota. He's super cool and he's super mysterious. He runs kind of like all hunched over. Where he does like a weird like 90-degree deal with his horn pointing out front.
does he
It's the
do a
Naruto
Naruto run?
It's
a
the
Well,
Naruto-
we're
it's a
gonna
Naruto run?
touch on Naruto
Oh.
a couple times, because actually,
Jesus Christ, I'm out. I'm done.
strap in,
I'm
boys
done.
and girls. Espio is a ninja. He's a ninja master, and he can turn invisible and throw shuriken and all that good stuff. And he may or may not wear a headband with a hidden leaf on it.
Does he wear button-up shirts covered in flames?
only in 10th grade during band camp.
If he's not the weird ninja that had like the puppet marionette thing, then I'm not interested.
Are you talking about? No, I don't want to get into Naruto. We'll never.
Shut up.
We'll
Don't.
never leave
You
that
do
whole-
it.
My favorite thing about Espio is he's always portrayed with this like smooth and silky baritone voice. He's always got that kind of like that Alec Baldwin like kind of gravelly, beautiful gravelly voice to him. And most recently he's been voiced by internet darling Matt Mercer, which I really like. So that's Espio.
All right. Matt, tell us about Vector.
Vector? You mean the team leader? Do you mean the power player? Do you mean perhaps one of the oldest characters in the Sonic universe? Vector is truly the ultimate chaotic. What does being the ultimate chaotic mean? I have no idea, but I'm going to argue that
Point
Vector
of procedure,
is
Matt,
that.
are we saying that singular version is chaotic and plural is chaotix with an X? Is that how this is going to go?
You know
If
what,
we
for the
keep
sake
that
of argument,
straight, if we keep that straight this whole
that like-
episode, listeners, I will send
Is that like
every
an
one of you $5.
alumnus deal?
No, that's an actual thing. This is imaginary stupid.
Sorry, Matt, please continue.
oh no, it's okay. I'm not confident enough in my argument to be upset for being interrupted.
Matt, Andrew kindly told me what species of animal Espio is. What is Vector?
I'm not done with my little opening rant. Let me have this.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so first off, in a world of doofy-ass, off-colored cartoonizations of actual animals, there stands one relatively accurate and actual intimidating being. His name is Vector, and he's a big, badass crocodile. He's strong-willed, guided by a stiff moral compass, and is also an incredible detective, often solving things well before these other numbskulls. I would also like to add that he plays the keyboard, because that, I think, is important in Sonic
Oh,
Land.
I'm looking at the picture of it. We're going to talk about that. Don't you
Can
worry.
you tell me the context in which Vector played keyboard in the Sonic the Hedgehog game series?
Oh, in the game series, it did not happen, but in early development literature for Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 1991, he was one of the original Sonic the Hedgehog band members with matching shoes to Sonic and a completely different character model, but he is in fact Vector. It's canon.
There he
and
is.
you
I gotta
best
tell you,
believe
there's our boy.
No, I'm reading the same thing that Matt is reading right now. It's like the animatronic band that you see at Chuck E. Cheese, only they're all wearing matching Sonic shoes.
it was
Guys.
so it was originally created to be
what
part of the
is
sound
this
test for the
topic?
game.
Oh my god.
But the sound test was too overcomplicated for the Genesis to handle, so they scrapped it.
It's this section about Vector. It's literally like he's known for his great love of music, and he's got these sweet headphones. Also, he plays keyboard. Like
Well, there's
that's
also
just
a
what they
weird bit
ran
in
with.
Sonic Generations where he's like a DJ and he spins actual music notes
Sure,
at you
of
that you have
course.
to spin dash with Sonic. So there you go.
I will
tracks.
Guys,
admit,
I love video games so much.
right? I
This
will admit
is
that I
a
spent
bananas conversation.
probably 6 hours today sitting at work doing nothing but reading the Sonic fan wikia. So y'all best be ready for the very specific comic book issue references
never been
with
more ready
release
for
dates
this.
and all, because
You,
bitches, I have notes.
Matt,
All right,
you know
no,
how
you
much
know
I
what?
love specific references and notes.
Well, so
Todd and Andrew, you have your work cut out for you. Todd,
well, then let me tell you what I'm bringing. So, Mighty the heroic, Mighty the level-headed, Mighty the loyal, Mighty the Armadillo. So he wasn't a member of the Chaotix team until Knuckles Chaotic, but he predates any other member of the Chaotix team in his 93 debut, except for the weird sound test thing with Vector, so I guess Matt gets points for that. But Mighty the Armadillo was the very first playable Chaotix. He came out in the debut of Sega Sonic the Hedgehog. Mighty the Armadillo, he follows the formula of sweet name plus the relatively obscure animal. And it seems to have worked pretty well. He's super strong, super fast, and he's agile AF. Mighty knows that those who have been given much is expected, and because of this, he turns to force as his last resort. His thing is he was given super strength, and he won't turn to use it unless he has to. And I think that if we're talking about the ideal Chaotix, in a world where Sonic dies if he's hit more than once, unless he's got a storing of rings, he needs a guy who's basically a walking shield. A durable bro with a slick built-in thick red armor.
Durable, bro.
He doesn't play keyboard, though, and I'm really thinking that's going to be the linchpin that makes my argument fall apart today.
Vector and his mighty guitar.
I do want to point out that Matt, you still haven't told me what animal Vector is.
Yes, I did. He's a big badass crocodile. God damn it!
Did you say that?
I did.
I think
in
he
my
might have
notes.
said crocodile.
Okay.
He may not have said it because I'm still looking at this this picture that just screams the early 90s of a crocodile with weird keyboard and headphones.
He's a crocodile.
Oh man.
He's a crocodile.
I'm putting that one. That's going to be on the image for the Instagram
Yeah, please
post.
do that.
Don't worry.
Great.
All right, so let's move on. Let's keep going forward. So tell me why or I guess more importantly, Sonic the goddamn Hedgehog should care about these yo-yos. What can they do that should make Sonic stop living life at top speed and take notice?
Well, I'll tell you about Espio. Espio can match all of Sonic's abilities. He can match Sonic's speed, and he has additional abilities of his own on top of it. I mentioned earlier he is a master ninja. He can karate chop robots in half. So I'll let you sit on that one. He is
like big city attacking robots,
or
like
Eggman robots.
Very small.
I mean, like
chicken
Eggman
robots.
robots. Let's be a little
So they're robots in this
realistic.
game.
God. Espio,
Good.
yeah, it goes without saying, Espio is obviously a master of the ninjutsu. So much so that every time he poses, he does that thing where you put your fingers in front of your face, like the kid in 10th grade at band camp with the button-up shirt with the flames on it. So, couple pieces of evidence. So I mentioned he can match Sonic's speed in every game. Espio is shown to be like the speed character, or in the 2D games, he has the exact same like running pattern of Sonic. In Sonic Heroes, he's basically the Sonic version for the Chaotix team. In the Chaotix game, he does this like whirlwind attack. So like kind of like Knuckles' glide, but it does like 360 damage, which is pretty sweet. And most importantly, he can turn invisible. So he can change his colors. So he takes his like chameleon deal. He changes colors to match his background, and he uses his super cool ninjutsu powers to turn completely invisible and throw shurikens and everything. Also, there was a brief bit, I don't know how canon this is, but I mentioned earlier, I watched a lot of fucking cutscenes today, and two things came out of this, two pieces of information. One, many of the Sonic cutscenes are just poison, like poison for your mind. I do want to kill myself. But one thing that I really did take away is about 53 minutes into the Shadow the Hedgehog cutscene. Depository.
Wait, 53 minutes? I didn't even know that game was 53 minutes long, if we're being
I
completely honest.
played it, and I don't think it is.
We might need to stop arguing and just make sure Andrew's all right.
I have to cry and hug my knees for a while in the shower, but let's move past that for now. He is shown to be a master hacker, while his other two partners just stand there and are dumpy.
Okay, hold on.
Are his other two partners in this instance?
No, because I watched the cutscene you're talking about. I watched the cutscene you're talking about. Charmy B runs into the computer. That's the only reason it works. Espio takes too damn long, and Charmy B rams the computer.
And what does Vector
the
say, Matt?
Too.
Does he say, "What are you doing?"
You know what? It doesn't matter. I was distracted by the bee running into the computer and being better than your damn
Kyle,
chameleon.
every time I say, "What are you doing?" in Vector's voice, can you please lower those levels down like a lot? Because my capture on my end just exploded. Thanks, bud.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's Espio. Let's move on.
Yeah, that was insane.
No, I'm not done with you.
Matt, why should I or Sonic or Espio apparently care about Vector?
Okay, so first off,
the keyboard playing crocodile.
I have a very specific reference to bring up right now, and it is about Espio being too dumb for his own powers. Okay,
That's what we wanted to hear.
Too dumb for his own powers. Did you know that one time Espio turned invisible and tried to sneak his way into a house and accidentally ran into Amy's hammer and knocked himself out so that he couldn't even continue with the rest of the mission, and Charmy B and Vector the Crocodile just left him there because he's such an idiot? And if you're thinking to yourself, that didn't really happen, it did. You can look it up. That would be Sonic X episode 39.
Is it in season 2? Or was it in season 3 when he first appeared to bring Chris supplies home from his parents? I'm on the same page you are, motherfucker.
All right, so anyway, why should Sonic care about the keyboard playing badass known as Vector the Crocodile?
I have some questions about the scene you just painted for me.
Sure.
How did he knock himself out running into? How did Espio knock himself out running into someone else's hammer? Were they swinging the hammer at the time?
Why was he like doing a B&E in Amy's like house? And where and how does Amy hold her hammer? Like on an umbrella rack by the door? Like what is going on that it's at head level?
Here's the thing.
Stop everything. The podcast is about this now.
Full disclosure, I didn't watch the episode, but I did cross-reference that on a couple different wiki pages, so I know it's real.
You also didn't see
checked
the
my
part where
sources.
It says that Sonic X is not canon because after the Worlds Collide event in the Archie comics, Espio is in fact identical to his in-game counterpart. So,
all right, can we go back to hearing why Vector is not as good as everyone else, but Sonic should still be worried?
Sure, I guess. So Vector, first off, leader of the Chaotix. So all of these other schmucks pale in comparison to Vector and his utmost importance as the leader of this group, right? He is the strongest of the Chaotix. He is the smartest of the Chaotix. He also has taken part in every Olympic Games with Mario and Sonic, thus forth making him the most athletic of the Chaotix. In fact, his rival in the Olympic Games is Bowser, and in the story mode, he beats Bowser because you always win the story mode if you're playing as characters. So, there you go. Vector, better than Bowser, as long as the player is somewhat decent at Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
Oh my god. I just love that as an argument.
Yeah, there's the asterisk is so detailed.
He is
and
better
important.
than all characters in the Mario Sonic Olympic Games. Case made.
Also, Vector teamed up with Amy and some little bunny rabbit called Cream on Tame
Cream.
Rose in Sonic Freeriders, and they won King Doc's World Grand Prix. And that's
Not King Doc's World Grand Prix.
King Doc's World Grand Prix. And then, the other, actual kind of semi-important fact of all this is that he is driven by a really strong moral compass. So they have their rules. They'll never turn down a job that pays, but they also won't do anything dirty, and that is under Vector's leadership. They won't get into anything that's illegal, and he often does things for free, even though him and the rest of the Chaotix are always broke because they do things for free. But anytime somebody needs it, Vector is always there to help. I don't know why that would really make Sonic care. Honestly, I just know a lot about Vector now, and I don't really have a way to funnel any of this information into an argument. I just have facts.
What Matt is saying
lots
is
and
he's
lots
a
of
research
facts.
assistant, real bad.
Yeah, I got the research is good. The development,
Sure.
not so much. I am just the R of the R&D.
So Todd,
Jesus.
have you driven yourself as near to the point of madness as Henderson and
My
because
my walls
quit if you
my
have.
walls don't have pictures of Espio and Vector and red strings that connect them to different things. And,
But did you draw Mighty the Armadillo in your own feces on the wall? Because that might keep you in the running.
you know what? If that's what it takes to win today, I'm not quite there.
We lost Todd.
Yeah. So
Did we lose Todd?
Oh wait, there he is.
nope.
Is he back?
I'm here. I'm here.
You froze
I'm
in
here.
mid-laugh.
You froze for a minute.
Well, the problem was I was still dealing with that whole feces thing. I had to really think about
So
that.
you froze time and space to deal with it.
Yeah, to contemplate fecal drawings.
He must be
So-
Josh Brolin.
This is when the camera pans from in front of Todd to behind Todd, and we see that it's really much, much worse in his living room right now.
So if this was like a showdown, Sonic v Mighty the Armadillo, I already said it before, his body's 40% shield. So Sonic's big shtick is spin dash, hit hard. So first off, it would have to be a full frontal assault, and I don't think that's gonna work. Again, he's got all of Sonic's abilities and more. He can wall jump. He can do a really sweet thing they call the hammer drop, which if you played Sonic 3 is his, if you ever got the bubble power up, you could bounce really hard down, and that's the thing that he can now do. It's special to him. But even more so, he's crazy durable. So all the arguments about Vector being super tough or whatever, but he is able to in one situation he grabbed one of those big robots from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle and threw it one-handed, and he went toe-to-toe with, sit down and get ready for this, the Werehog.
No, he didn't.
He
No,
battled
he
with the
didn't.
Werehog,
When?
and he survived.
I need a source citation
Mighty-
here.
I am on the fandom archiesonic.wikia.com/wiki/mighty_the_armadillo. Powers and ability. Mighty durability is so strong he can take quite a brutal beating from anything, including the Werehog, and get right back up.
Well, damn.
So I'm gonna say, in all the arguments of who needs to be worried, dude fought the Werehog. So if I had a microphone, I'd drop it. But my hands are covered in fecal art, so.
So now is his microphone. All right. So I'm just gonna lean into this shit flinging fest, and I'm just gonna ask you guys, dump on the other two. Tell me why the other two are garbage and why I shouldn't care about them.
Espio the Chameleon is a one-stop shop of thief abilities. Why take up space with the other two dumpy losers when you have a ninja that can run at blinding speed and turn invisible?
Because he might run into a hammer and render himself irrelevant.
That was one time.
And he's got to keep his palms out flat behind him for extra aerodynamics, and I hate it.
What if his goggles fall off his forehead?
That's what they're there for. They're there to cut the wind. Listen, according now, Matt did. There was one piece of fallacy in your argument earlier. Now, according to the original Knuckles Chaotix instruction book, Espio is the original detective. The other two,
like in the world, like there were no detectives.
Correct. He's
before
Espio the detective, and then later rebranded as Espio the Chameleon of the detective agency, the Chaotix. Now, I'm not here to say that all three of the Chaotix weren't eventually detectives, but this is kind of like Espio is John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and Charmy B and Vector and the rest of the dumpy crew were just all Ringos. They're just like, that was a really bad Ringo. Oil. Ricky, Oil be a detective too, mate. You know how Ringo talks. So just like that.
Just like that was why Ringo didn't talk.
Yeah.
Actually,
for those of you at home curious, no, Ringo Starr did not just walk into Andrew Henderson's living room and talk on the mic. That was Andrew Henderson doing a spot-on Ringo Starr.
Yep, perfect. I'm selling CDs later. Vector in specific, Vector scares me a little bit because he's always wearing headphones. So we can assume that his hearing is constantly compromised. Trying to communicate with Vector is nearly impossible because he's jamming out in his 80s synth metal.
you know what? No, I'm gonna defend this. If you think that Vector isn't effective because he's wearing headphones, you obviously didn't see Baby Driver, because like dude was the sickest getaway driver ever.
But he didn't
and
do
always
anything
had
else but drive. He was only listening to his headphones when he was
But-
driving.
But in this case, Vector doesn't need to do anything else but be a big,
great.
imposing
Vector can be the
DJ.
wheelman, and SP will do everything else. That's fine. Let's talk about Mighty then. Let's shift the focus onto Mighty.
Yeah, please.
Mighty
Let's talk about Mighty.
Doesn't exist Armadillo.
Oh, he
Not only
absolutely
did Mighty
exists.
not show up to any of the future games, he ceased to exist. Like, they hated him so much, they trained themselves to actually forget his memory entirely. He was like
That's
Mark
not a
Brandanowitz
thing.
after season 2 of Parks and Rec.
Oh no!
Stopped existing.
Or
Wow.
the other half of The Office after the first season of The Office.
Todd, you picked
Yeah.
the Mark
Yeah.
Brandanowitz of the
Mighty the
group.
Brandanowitz.
Oh no,
That's-
you don't. You hang tight.
I think everything speaks to... I'm going to go back to Shadow the Hedgehog because I watch these cutscenes so you don't have to. I feel like the entire team dynamic is spelled out in just that 30 seconds where they introduce Vector, Charmy, and Espio all sitting there with their mouths agape like a bunch of dumb animals. And a portal opens with Shadow, because of course it does. And without a question, Vector and Charmy B both look at each other like, go for it, Espio. Like, not even like, oh, obviously Espio's going to take care of it because we're so fucking useless that we can't do anything. So Espio is like, yeah, totally, I'll do it, and then hops in the portal. Espio also gets to swear a cuss later in Shadow the Hedgehog. He's one of 5 characters that says a
shoot,
damn in a
Ooh.
Sonic game. So
That's
Ooh.
pretty good.
I don't know if I can
So-
pick Espio
so
because of my staunch
listen, so
Christian
to
upbringing
summarize,
now.
he can turn invisible, he can run real fast, he's got shurikens, and he can swear a cuss.
All right.
He's had a cuss once. No, so you know what? If we're gonna make jabs about Mighty disappearing, there is only one character out of this conversation that is actually slated to come out in a game this year, and that is Mighty the
The other two
Armadillo.
were already in Sonic
Like,
Forces.
What game is that, Todd?
that came out earlier this year.
He's coming out in Sonic
Yeah,
Mania
just because he
Plus
wasn't in
July.
Sonic Forces,
He
which
is-
all the other ones were, which is a mainline game.
That's That's debatable. They're just getting the team back. They're bringing back Mighty and Ray. Ray the flying squirrel, I think. They wanted to bring back the A team again.
They're
So they did.
so
And that's
memorable
fine.
characters as Ray. We also forgot Doug. Doug the kangaroo.
Doug the opossum.
Tim the rabbit.
You know, I would also like to point out that it's an Olympic year, which guarantees another Sonic and Olympic game. And I goddamn guarantee that Vector's gonna be there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
because the Sonic roster doesn't have enough beefy characters to match with Bowser, and so every 4 years Vector gets his card pulled out.
Wait, Matt. Just for like the record, what would you say if Vector had to choose his favorite Olympic sport? What is Vector's favorite Olympic sport? I'm one for winter and one for normal. One for winter Olympics and one for good Olympics.
So, reading directly from the Sonic.
shut
I want
up.
to turn your internet off right
that
now.
would be that would be ping pong for the Summer Olympics and curling for the
that
Winter
sounds
Olympics.
I feel like those are so obviously curling, yes, always. But I would have rather heard the bobsled. It would be like him and Charmy B, like the least favorite Chaotix
pong.
there.
We're
Ping pong though.
once again derailing the topic at hand. Who would his ideal ping pong doubles partner be?
It's probably not Tails because he's stupid. No, who was the weasel? There was like a weasel thief that had like a Crocodile Dundee vibe.
Ah, yeah.
Get everyone to the
Definitely has
wiki
a
now.
gun. His
And
name.
he was not.
for
He
sure.
betrayed the rest of the Chaotix. That happened in the comics. I read about this today.
Hang on.
So what I've picked up so far is that Sonic lore
Fang the
is
sniper.
deeper than like the Star Wars extended universe before Disney cut it all from
this
from
shit
the
is deep,
record.
Kyle.
Like, Sonic lore.
We could do a
runs
whole
deep.
podcast on just Sonic lore.
And speaking of retcon, I want to talk a little bit about this pre-Worlds Collide and post-Worlds Collide extravaganza.
I don't.
Well, no, Todd, you're about to get a compliment. Calm down.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yay, let's
so
do this.
When Worlds Collide event.
I don't want to click on more tabs.
Vector
I don't want to
realized-
click on more tabs.
Vector realized that he wasn't buff enough, so he hired himself a personal trainer, and that personal trainer happened to be Mighty the Armadillo.
Oh, it's so good.
Now that, of course, got retconned in the post-When Worlds Collide event, but I also want to say that when Worlds collided, Vector helped out Proto Man from the Mega Man series, because nothing matters in the Sonic universe. Nothing at all.
I want to add. So a fix to what I formerly said. It's either Fang the sniper, but he also goes by Knack the weasel.
Knack the Weasel is the one that I saw.
Yeah, man, that is
like-
his ping pong partner.
Let's go.
Knack the Weasel rolls off the tongue so much better.
I feel like
So
they
we're
did
going
Fang
with
the
that.
sniper because like, oh, he's got to be so badass. Like, ooh, can't say that's. You're not following the cool name, and then
He
animal.
can't be a
Sniper
good
is
guy
not
and
an
also have a
animal.
weapon in his name.
There it is. Done. That's canon.
Yeah. So are we still dumping on the other two? Can I?
Yeah,
can I
go ahead.
for a
Yeah,
little
please.
while?
Yeah, let's
No one has yet, so
Have you-
please do.
All right. So first off, yeah,
take a rest in between your reps and you know go ahead and get after it.
Mighty got retconned. He doesn't even exist
doesn't exist.
anymore. Can we just take
He
him out of this
completely
argument?
He's in the
This is
parallel
all-
time space where Biff won.
Yeah, exactly. He's somewhere in 2015, still waiting for Marty McFly to fly back. But Espio's just too damn dumb to do anything, man. Like, he ran into Amy's hammer and knocked himself out. He got so enthralled with Silver the Hedgehog stealing the chows that he couldn't even complete the
Actually,
one
he
mission
did that because
sent
Vector told him
on
to
alone.
check out Silver. A red herring.
Yeah, and then didn't come back with anything. They didn't even get paid. They couldn't get paid because Espio
Well, maybe
fucked
Vector
it
should
all
take
up.
jobs.
And if I know one thing about Vector, he gets mad if he doesn't get paid.
But
per
he
the
doesn't
wiki.
even follow
That
his
is
own
true.
personality logic because he said himself at the beginning of Sonic Heroes, they don't take jobs that don't pay.
Yeah, but that job was supposed to pay. You know what it did pay? He and then already like pre-spent the money on rent because let's just all right. You know what? I'm just gonna
This is a miserable rabbit hole to go down.
Vector's not great with money. I'm just gonna lean into that right now. Don't bring that shit up. I acknowledged it.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't. Espio's too dumb. He doesn't look at all like an actual chameleon, which really bothers me. Because at least Vector looks like a crocodile. You know, be it a crocodile with some extra spikes and headphones and a gold chain.
And a bomb-ass chain.
But definitely more like a crocodile.
He looks like a chameleon, like
looks
Sting
like a
Chameleon from Mega Man X looks like a chameleon. He doesn't not.
I won't lie. When I watched that Sonic Heroes clip, and we'll have to link to this somehow.
We shouldn't ever.
In some footnotes.
Put it in the show notes.
I had a very hard time realizing that Espio was supposed to be Espio because he looks just as much like a hedgehog as Sonic does, which is
disagree, but we can blow past it.
And
keep
good
going, Matt.
lord.
You know what?
He's fuchsia. Like
Exactly. They're so off-colored. Speaking of Sonic Heroes, gall darn it, proof that Vector is the greatest of the detectives. He was the first one to realize they were actually working for Eggman. Nobody else realized it until Vector pointed it out, and then they all realized it. Canon. Bah! Suck it.
Matt came to play, boys.
So if we're throwing out hollow reasons why the other two are really bad, I want to say Espio is sketchy as shit. Like I'm not even like his supposedly strong silent and like look over my shoulder and shady, one-liner and being a ninja and sneak around. If there is a heist going on, he will betray you. He will leave you locked in the giant cartoony vault. He is not on your team. And if we're also throwing out hollow arguments, Vector looks like he's going to try and sell me his mixtape. Or film an impromptu Gatorade commercial. I'm not sure which.
Sorry, are you talking down to independent artists right now? It sounds like you're talking down to independent artists.
I'm just saying if I'm trying to put together a good team, I'm going to go with personal training Armadillo than, I Sweat Blue Gatorade Mountain Ice Vector
personal training
the Crocodile.
Armadillo, the name of your first indie rock band.
Todd, how much is Powerade paying you? And
but I mean, Powerade and its delicious thirst-quenching flavors aren't paying me anything to say these things, Kyle. The glacier Ice Rush is just a refreshing flavor that I always want after a hard workout.
Todd looks up to the banister on his railing to read the name of the flavor.
Yeah, I just okay. So you're looking at like a giant cartoony crocodile and like a wannabe ninja, chameleon. I'm just saying, Mighty is loyal. He's responsible. He tries to take care of his family, even when that puts him in danger. Like he is the best option of any of the Chaotix.
I'm just gonna go back to the original question: was why do we want one of these particular characters for a heist? So you're saying that you would rather have good guy Boy Scout Mighty the Armadillo who can stand still really well to heist for you over someone that can run the speed of sound and turn invisible. That's cool. You're probably not going to steal a lot, but that's fine.
Not all heists are terrible things. They're not all bad people.
So if Mighty the Armadillo walks an old lady across the street, is that a heist? Did he steal her ability to walk across the street herself?
Podcast meet strawman argument. That's not how this works.
I feel like Todd was setting up to drop an Ant-Man reference, and you cut him off. And
you know what, Kyle? You're 100% right. I
smell collusion.
Mighty the Armadillo is Paul Rudd, and if you want to hate Paul Rudd, go ahead and be wrong.
All right. Well, that happened. Let's move on to my last prepared question. Describe the perfect crime according to your Chaotix team member. I want details. I want what they're stealing. I want like how they're doing it. I want the scene from The Office where Dwight lays out his perfect crime with the daughter of the founder of
Sure.
Yes, that's a good reference. That
I bring the deep office cuts. So Andrew,
I mean,
Espio's
I'm not gonna say anything that already hasn't been made super clear. Espio, his personality and his abilities make him most positioned to be the perfect thief. He has all the abilities that Sonic has. He can turn invisible. He can mesh with any environment, meaning he can pass through virtually any level of security and get through it. So here's what I'm thinking. We have Espio go in. He breaks into Eggman's lair. As soon as he breaks into Eggman's lair, he has access to all of Eggman's world-stopping creations. And as we know, the most powerful of which is the Mean Bean Machine. That's right. He's going to steal the Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, Jesus
my
Christ.
God, Jesus
I
Christ.
didn't see it coming.
He's going to steal the Mean Bean Machine.
I wasn't ready.
And then he is going to be the one to bring us all to Bean Apocalypse.
The Mean Bean Machine out of nowhere.
That's my MO.
I'm so mad.
I'm so upset, but so impressed at the same time because I didn't see it coming. And I should have.
I hate it.
It's going on
hate
the
it.
Debate This Wikia. It's like every century.
I can't believe that you managed to sneak beans in here. You know, like, it blows my mind.
We were doing so well. Like, we all knew Todd was going to talk about Mallow last week, not Luigi. Like, we all knew it. But somehow the Mean Bean Machine caught me off guard.
I love you guys.
Matt, if it matters anymore, tell me Vector's perfect crime.
First off, I think when we are discussing Deep Sonic lore, nothing matters. Absolutely nothing matters. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna dive in.
Please, we haven't heard you
I'm
dive
gonna
in yet.
investigate this.
That's just been waiting
He's
in the
been
shallow
sharpening
end
his
so
claws all
far.
day for this
This is
discussion.
So, you know, there is in fact no perfect crime for Vector the Crocodile because, to quote the Sonic Heroes PlayStation 2 instruction manual,
I want out.
the Chaotix Detective Agency is also one of high ethical standards, as they will, per Vector the Crocodile's standpoints, not get involved with anything dirty or illegal. Now, if we're talking about making money, because I think that's really the point of doing crime, is to get rich, Vector is a musician. And as much as it's going to upset Todd, he's going to be out on the street corner hustling mixtapes. That's how Vector do.
without a street performing permit, right? So it's a crime.
I suppose. Sure.
So to stay within the parameters of the question.
To stay within the parameters of the question, sure. You know, he would go out there without a permit because music means a lot to Vector the Crocodile. Vector the Crocodile's been playing the keyboard since 1991, and he's ready for the people to hear it. He's so ready for the people to hear it that their team blast in Sonic Heroes is the Chaotix team coming together, playing some music so much that it knocks out everyone around them and turns them into prize coin boxes. That's canon too. You can look it up. Now, if we're talking about actual crime, I'm thinking underground street fighting, because Vector is the strong one. So he punches really hard, and I think he could make some money underground street fighting. But if you want a heist, if you really want a perfect crime, I would like to direct you to Sonic Universe number 12 from the Archie comics, released in January of 2010, when he was one of the two chosen to protect the Master Emerald on Angel Island. So I think the perfect heist is he just grabs that emerald and runs away and sells it for a bunch of money so he can pay rent. That is all I have for Vector.
So the only thing that I took from that, because that was a lot, I really like this idea. I got to commend Todd on this one. I really like this idea of Vector reenacting Baby Driver as like an underground like fight club.
Radar Love is playing in the background of every like song.
100%.
Oh my god.
So we've got like, it's got Fight Club meets Baby Driver, starring Vector the Crocodile. I'm into that.
All right. And Todd, bring it home for us. What is Mighty's perfect crime?
Yeah, man, I got this for you. So I'm gonna paint you a picture. So scene opens on a smoke-filled room. There's a table And in the center of the table, there are detailed blueprints. What are at the top of those blueprints? Eggman, Moonbase, Alpha. Right. Sitting around the table, there's a cast of characters, of course led by Mighty the Armadillo, but then everyone else's favorite characters. Ray the Flying Squirrel, Amy Rose, Knack the Weasel, who is now a late addition to this plan, and then Knuckles the Echidna, because I fucking love Knuckles. What are they looking to heist, Kyle, you ask?
I would love to know.
They're looking to rescue Mighty's sister Matilda, who has been stolen by Dr. Eggman. That's a thing.
Those of you
So
playing
here's
at
what
home,
happens.
Todd has been spending
This-
the last 20 minutes on the Sonic Wiki trying to find this answer.
I typed something that I would call, like, more effort went into the script that I have typed here than went into the Avatar Earthbender movie,
Good call.
like, years ago.
That is
so,
an incessantly low bar.
yeah, well, I'm just saying, a good amount went
it
into
still
this and
burns.
not
It still
any went
burns.
into that, so it cleared the bar. Anyway,
Todd, every chance to shit on the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie, Thomas.
I'm two things.
Tumblr.com.
I'm two things. I'm loyal to Malo, and I hate that movie. So, we've got this cast of characters, smoke-filled room blueprint. What happens? How does this play out? Knuckles and Knack, they're playing recon and distraction. They are messing shit up, causing mayhem. They are the hit team. Amy, she's working tech and intel, because she's got that sweet hammer. Like, shit's going on there. She knows what's up. Ray, the flying squirrel, because he's got flying in the name, he's going to fly Mighty in. And so Mighty, using the power of the emeralds, because he is morally just and upright, he can use them. He cannonballs through the front gate to storm in looking for Matilda. Once he has secured her and hammer drops his special attack, Eggman, they go home after successfully completing their morally upright and just heist. Maybe they have, like, you know, some hot chocolate or, like, a responsible amount of beverages.
sensible
or something. I don't
Merlot.
know. But a sensible Merlot. I mean, if the heist took place on, like, a Sunday, I don't know about that. And he's got work the next day. But, like, that is his heist. He is doing it for the right reasons and with the right people. That is the A-team. Or at least it is a team.
I gotta give. Wow.
That was pretty good.
Todd, I think I gotta give you credit for being the first person to actually like answer a question without further prompting this episode.
So I gotta to give credit where credit's due. That all came to be after the comparison of Paul Rudd and Ant-Man came together. I'm like, no, I want to tell this story if I could, like his buddy that tells all the detailed stories, but I can't do that. So I'm at least gonna paint the picture.
All right.
Saving his sister. Deal with that.
So we're running out of time. So we'll make the super secret bonus question. I want short answers. I don't want more than 3-4 sentences. So let's keep it simple. What would your chaotic, assuming that detective / privateer business dries up, what would their like real world job be? And I don't want to hear keyboard player in a wedding band, Matt. I want blue collar jobs. I want them coming home with the day's filth on them, but they rest easy knowing they did good, honest work. Andrew, Espio's real world job.
So I think by day, Espio would probably wander around for quite some time, kind of without a purpose. Thieving has been his way of life for so long. He would probably end up at some sort of programming boot camp and do some 10 to 6 dev job. At night, he would definitely stream Fortnite over Twitch.
Good.
Oh my god, seeing Espio as like just a shitty Twitch streamer,
Thanks,
not
guys,
even
for
a
the
good
bits.
one. Like constantly losing Fortnite matches on Twitch. Oh, that's golden.
Yelling out like subscriber names with no enthusiasm at all. Wow.
Big thanks to Large Monkey Cock 6974 for all the donations.
XXX, 3 months of sub.
And-
Thanks a lot.
And for those of you at home, that is Matt's gaming handle.
We
Follow
are
me on Twitch.
here. We are definitely attacking our demographic. I just want to let everyone know we're
we have been-
cannibalizing our own right now.
We have. I hope everyone appreciates some self-deprecating humor because we have been dumping on our target demo
Yeah.
Oh,
all
all good.
episode. We will have no listeners after this, but it doesn't matter because we dove deep into that Sonic.
We sure did.
lore. Matt, what is? I don't even remember names anymore. What is Vector's day job?
I would like to make one more very specific reference.
Please do.
In Sonic the Hedgehog number 118, the Archie comic published in March of 2003, when Knuckles seemingly passes away, Vector cries crocodile tears at his funeral. So Vector has an emotional side. He is also, big and strong and likes music and is a good swimmer and is athletic. So I'm going to go with camp counselor. I think Vector's working with kids.
There it is. Let's get this giant 6-foot crocodile surrounded by small children.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Likes doing athletic things and playing Olympic games. Likes sharing music with the populace. Likes.
He's
don't
gonna
know,
lead
he
camp
totally
songs.
Yeah, he's great. Camp counselor. There it is. Boom.
Wow. All right, Todd, bring us home. What is Mighty the Armadillo's day job?
So we already talked. I mean, he's already been a personal trainer. I think he could be a motivational speaker. He could certainly be a werehog fighter.
That job doesn't have a lot of legs.
Down to earth job.
No,
of
so
a werehog
so
fighter.
the one that I'm not going to choose, but I want to make this reference in the off chance that either any of you three or anyone that listens to gets this. He would make a perfect member of what's called the Power Team, if you ever remember that, the late 90s Christian inspirational powerlifting group.
Oh my God, you're so right.
If you haven't been to like a state fair in the late 90s, or your like local megachurch didn't host this when you were young, there were basically a bunch of group of people that would like rip phone booths phone books in half, and they would like blow up the insulated hot water bottles, and they would talk about, they'd be like, it's so dangerous, our lungs could rupture, but we do it for God. And then like American Gladiators music would play in the background while they're like, I am a real man, like the Hulk Hogan theme is playing. But he's not gonna do that. That would make too much sense. Easy answer, he's gonna be
that would be too perfect a job.
So I
Okay,
think
go on.
I think Mighty the Armadillo, he would be a blue collar worker. He'd be a construction worker, doing some hard, honest work, helping improve our country's infrastructure. He cares about the everyman and he wants to help him, and I think that Mighty would do that. Or since he has spent time working with his father, who has some memory issues, he'd probably volunteer on the side at local senior citizens' homes.
All right.
Yeah, so deal with that. Hacker Elite XX Sephiroth XX.
Thanks for the bits.
Okay. Well,
Thanks for the bits.
I still don't quite know what's going on. So I got a weird flashback in the middle of this to the Sonic Battle Game Boy Advance game. If anyone out there besides my brother and I have played this, please let me know, because it is an incredible, it's like a weird Sonic fighting game. But while I process those emotions, can you guys just give me your closing statements and keep them short? Andrew.
In a series complete with hacky, over-the-top characters, Espio somehow manages to be the edgiest edgelord of them all. He's like if a 12-year-old created a Sonic character by mixing Sasuke from Naruto and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and then gave him Will Arnett's voice. While this may all seem a little much and in the opposite direction, you have to consider the source. the sources in the Sonic franchise. And for that, I say Espio is the perfect analog of this franchise.
All right, Matt.
So
Vector.
to state it one more time, I don't know that Vector has any importance as a chaotic. I don't know that any of the chaotics have any importance. But what I do know is that Vector is an all-around good guy and just a really fun character to exist and to point and laugh at and to fill holes when you need holes to be filled in your Olympic Games.
So your argument boils down to he's a good guy. We should give him a bid.
Todd,
There it is.
Todd, your closing statement.
No, wait, I'm not done.
Todd, your closing statements.
No, let me get through this, goddammit. I have one more reference that I somehow didn't get to make off my list of references, and so I would like to do that right now. In the English manual...
I'm going to allow it because of my love of deep cut references.
Thank
Go
God.
ahead, Matt.
In the English manual for the 1993 game Knuckles Chaotix, Vector is described as one of Knuckles the Echidna's friends, who is often seen either jamming to his headset tunes or quote-unquote investigating the local food court. And thus ends my argument for Vector the Crocodile.
Oh, that's so 90s it hurts. It's like 90s in the worst way. Todd...
Yeah, so I guess
help me end this.
I wish I had more high notes to end on because Matt's was pretty good. I guess I'll start by saying I could have chosen Charmy B, but he's the worst.
I think we can all agree that he is the worst.
Yes. 100% the worst.
Charmy B is the one who had that hit with Bruno Mars this year, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Debate This.
We're hanging it up. Podcast is over.
And to that point, I would have rather tried to talk about Knack the Weasel, who we had to search for their name, than Charmy B. But instead, I settled on Mighty the Armadillo. So Mighty is quoted as saying, "We change what we can, we manage what we cannot." He's level-headed, he's reliable, he's morally upright. I think if we're looking for that other star character, like the prime, I guess, chaotic to, hey, look at that, we step on the singular, chaotic to stick with, it's Mighty. His human strength that was given to him by a sloth, I think was what I read somewhere. Yeah, no, he was definitely given his powers by a sloth. Moss the sloth, because again, you need a name, and an animal. He's worked with all the variety of different Sonic characters. I think he is the one that stands above the rest as a premier character. The reality is super strong, super reliable, super morally upright, does things for his family, and managed to fight the werehog. And if there's one thing that we'll all agree on here today, the best version of Sonic was the werehog version of Sonic. No one say anything, we're good.
I'm at a loss. I've got...
Here's all the shit we've given you, Kyle. Make a decision.
Kyle literally has binders and binders of evidence in his podium.
I'm now realizing that the Sonic character dev team was probably just some 9-year-olds that wrote.
It was actually me on my exam when I was 11.
And then adults had to figure out what to do with the characters these 9-year-olds came up with.
We are like your children, and we just all delivered you really disappointing artwork. And we're just standing here with it.
I love it.
We're standing here with it in our hands, holding it up to you, just like, hey, you gonna pick my shitty macaroni art? Because
I'm gonna take what I have here and feed it into the Debate This algorithm, and it's gonna churn out a winner for me. So while that's running, guys, give me some good vibes. Give me talk up your opponent's chaotics.
Wow, guys!
Andrew,
what a ride!
We made it, everyone.
I feel like we laughed, we loved, we learned today. Vector the Crocodile. What can I say? Vector the Crocodile.
He's a 6 foot tall, anthropomorphic crocodile with headphones and a gold chain.
I was pretty stuck between Espio and Vector, and I only went with Espio because I I thought I could get a little more material out of Espio. I've seen him more. I did not realize that he was as deeply ingrained in the extended universe, the EU, as I thought. But yeah, some solid arguments there. Mighty the Armadillo. I don't know a lot about Mighty. I actually saw something that was interesting today. I think there's it's possible that one of the reasons why Mighty never showed up again is because in Chaotix, his artwork, his sprite work was based off of Sonic. Like, it's almost identical. Like, everything he does is basically Sonic.
It's super close.
So I don't know if I think like people think it's either he was based off Sonic or he was in there because Sonic wasn't, or vice versa. And that might be why they never brought him back, because Sonic was always in the other games. I don't know. We'll never know. But I'm excited to play him in Sonic Mania because I love that game very much.
I would like to point out that Andrew never said anything good about Vector.
Let's blow
to
past
be completely honest, I'm not sure that I said anything good about Vector today. So, I don't know, man. Like, I expected this to be a lot like the Koopa Kid episode where we're researching basically nothing, and it turns out that there's more
so
to
much.
the Chaotix than there is to Harry Potter.
There's so
Like,
much.
Like we could decide today to going forward we're only going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog and have years of
We
material.
really could.
It's unbelievable.
to work
It's insane. And like, yeah, so to that note, I was obviously between Espio and Vector because Charmy,
Oh, yeah.
man, come on.
No, he's butt.
He is butt.
He's
But-
butt.
He's the Tales of the Chaotix.
Oh.
Espio is cool, I guess, because he's basically
Yeah.
a ninja but purple and 10 years earlier.
Spot on.
Mighty the Armadillo from the comic books is absolutely hysterical. To make another Pokemon reference, he basically looks like a bipedal Kabuto. Like,
Wow.
it's hysterical.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This was weird, but I do have one request to make, and that's, Todd, for the Instagram post this week, can you just put, like, search Matt the Hedgehog, Andrew the Hedgehog, Kyle the Hedgehog, and Todd the Hedgehog, and put that on? Because
Actually,
I just did, and they're
I was
all
gonna say
great.
I have a
So-
counter request. Please don't. Because I would like to keep my friends and family.
Now I need to
Thank
search
you.
Andrew the Hedgehog. Wow, I just typed in Andrew the and it said Hedgehog.
Yeah,
We'll take
yeah.
it from here. We got it. The internet knows what you're looking for. Oh, it's so good.
My favorite part about this is that it's drawn by a kid, by a child who chooses to go by Andrew and not like Andy or something else.
Oh, it's got a Tommy gun and a leather jacket and fingerless gloves.
Andrew's is by far the best. It's so good.
username.
So yeah, thus ends my good vibes. I don't know, man. I had way too much fun reading about
too.
the Chaotix, but man, it was a day.
Todd, once again, bring us home.
Oh man. So I mean, there's not, you can't say enough. The two to choose out of the original three would have been your two and not, Charmy, because Charmy sucks. But like, I'll start with Vector. So like, obviously Vector's probably got like you just look at Vector and you're like, oh yeah, like I want him on my ping pong team, like obviously. And so like, it just makes sense. The thing that I kept going to was like checking out their likes, dislikes, and skills in the Sonic wiki, because that's where the best stuff is. Some of Vector's likes would be sports drink. I saw it in there, and I knew it was there. And then like beyond, like money, band performances, pudding, like that one. His dislikes: not having money, jobs that do not pay up, working for the landlord. Like he knows what he is. The thing that I thought you really were gonna hit, as far as like why they would be great. So Vector can take multiple breaths. That's listed in his skills, which everyone knows, as we've discussed before, water is like the Achilles heel of every game ever. So like,
Good point.
I would have been all about like, Vector breathes underwater. Do you breathe underwater, Espio? Do you, Mighty? Didn't think so. So
I would like to amend my previous argument to say, hey, did you guys know that Vector breathes underwater?
Unfortunately, it wasn't in the.
he also
that's incredible.
It
Matt.
wasn't in
Thanks
one
for
of the
bringing that up.
27 comic issues that you read through.
he also
I just want to point out that like Matt's version of preparation was like deep diving into the lore, like looking up comic book numbers and like episode numbers and watching cutscenes, and Todd did the equivalent of like checking their Tinder page.
I did the SparkNotes version of what Matt actually did. Also Vector skills, explosive bubblegum or breath.
Wow,
So
yeah,
there
I
you
didn't
go.
see that anywhere.
Yeah, so I would have ran that one straight into the end zone. Yeah, Espio is super cool. Like I think Espio is probably one of my favorites. I'm surprised you didn't run with this quote: "Evil must
So
die. Beware my ninja power."
I had
from
it in my
Sonic
notes.
Heroes.
There are two quotes that I pulled. That was one of them.
Go,
The
Jesus.
other one was, I lost it. It was something from. It's something
He just
equally
didn't-
stupid from Sonic Generations.
Well, and
He
the
just
reason,
didn't have a way to bring it up organically.
It was.
because there's no way
it was when you
to
free
quote
Espio in
organically.
Sonic Generations. He says, "Thank you, my friend. Beware, for I have looked into the soul of our enemy and saw only darkness."
okay, so that one's pretty good. What I was gonna say was, Espio is a really, really good ninja, and you know why? Because he tells you to beware
Yeah.
his ninja power. I think every good ninja is like, "Hey, I'm a really good ninja."
The three secrets, the three keys to ninja power: one, talking about being a ninja; two, doing the hand motions; and three, doing the Naruto run.
There
I
it
was
is.
gonna say I've only watched about
That
5
is the
minutes
entire
of Naruto,
series.
and I think that is
They talk
that's
about
what I
yelling.
picked
They
up.
talk about being ninja.
So-
They yell out their ninjutsu power, and then they run around and they go whoosh whoosh whoosh. I have watched 300
Yeah.
episodes of Naruto.
I think that he's
not a joke.
I think that Espio is well. We laugh to conceal our sadness. So, I think that Espio is probably the most interesting character, hands down. I think he's super super cool. So, and isn't he? Did he not make it into the Olympics?
He was the
games? I thought he
referee.
did for some reason.
So
There you go. Yeah. So I knew he was at least present.
Of course.
But yeah, because why wouldn't you trust a shady ninja who had like a temper thing for a while to be the referee? But he's cool. I like Espio. They're both quality, like good characters, and I'm happy to see at least us giving some love to like the B team.
But not
Cardi B.
But not
Not Cardi B,
Not the Cardi B team.
Charmy B.
neither Charmy nor Cardi.
All right. Well, now that we have talked about the Chaotix and alienated our entire fan base
They
in the
stopped
process,
listening hours ago.
the debate this algorithm has given me an answer. So let's get to the winner's circle, guys. So we'll count backwards. Todd, you had the unfortunate situation of defending Mighty the Armadillo, the Chaotix that time forgot. You tried.
Man,
But
you made the wrong choice, but that's okay.
You didn't get there.
I'm gonna show up and rip telephone books in half in front of your house now.
Well, see, I'm quitting the podcast to reboot that organization because I don't know how they ever went out of business. That's incredible.
I'm putting that in the Insta post.
Damn it.
Andrew, you tried. You defended the video game equivalent of the guy who could change his MySpace background and claimed he was a master hacker.
Excuse me, it's Haxor.
Espio is dark for the sake of being dark, and that is tough to defend. So this week's winner is Matt Cole.
Yes!
He came to play.
Yeah! All right!
He brought the references. He
brought
stared
the
into the
wiki.
abyss.
Let's
and
call a
the
spade a
abyss-
spade.
I don't know. I think Matt read some comics and watched some episodes of TV shows, and he's not. He's hiding it.
Even when he
so
wins,
we
he
don't-
loses. So
We don't hate him. Yeah, Matt stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back. So
I looked into the eyes of my enemy and I saw only darkness.
there you have it, folks. Thanks for listening to Debate This. Follow along with the argument on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, and let us know what you think. I'm
Andrew
Kyle Harper.
Halfrack Henderson.
I'm Matt Ribeye Cole.
And I'm Todd Hot Dog Thomas.
We're saying thanks for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets.